Hi folks, it's Muse here. Today I just want to do a quick video on my gear list for my 2022 through hike. A lot of people ask, so here you go. When I went on my 2020 attempt, I did have a lot more stuff than this. Honestly, I probably had about 5 more pounds than what I have laid out on the table. So most of the stuff I have geared it down to less than 25 pounds. So and I've done a lot of shakedowns since then, and everything that I have here, I use. So for me, it's essential. So here goes. First things first. I guess for me, I do make a little list of the things that I need and the things that I have used in the past. And so I have my own little personal AT gear list, okay? So when I'm getting my things together, because I do use this stuff when I'm car camping, when I'm doing some primitive camping and day hikes and stuff like that. So I have to kind of get it all together, you know, to get ready for a through hike. So I do have a little list here, and the great thing about it is it does allow me to make sure that I have everything, and then also, you know, the things that you need, because there's sometimes, you know, I mean, I've been using this stuff off and on, you know, for 3 years now, so some things you do have to replace. So here it goes, okay? So first thing on my list that I think that most people can say that they, you know, it's one of the big fours, is my pack, okay? For me, I have a ULA Catalyst. It is a semi-frame pack, so it does have some, you know, a very lightweight frame. It's, for me, I need this because I have a crushed vertebrae. Okay, so for people that have back problems, I definitely would suggest not going frameless. That's just me personally, but I love this bag. I don't have back issues when I'm carrying it. And if you want me to be honest, the muscles around that vertebrae have gotten stronger with hiking. And even my physical therapist agrees that through hiking is not a bad thing as long as you're carrying the right pack and carrying it correctly. So one of the things that I want to do is, I guess I'll show you some of the stuff that I do carry on my pack, okay? So here's my trowel. Got purple, love it. As far as my carabiners go, I do get the little ultralight carabiners because, you know, after you've done this a while, you do start counting grams, okay? So just to show you the things that I do carry on my pack, one of the things that I do have is, I use a compactor bag, folks. They're cheap. You can actually find a big roll of them at Walmart. I found like a roll of 40 for like $7.50 a few years back. I usually do carry an extra one. Every time I've carried an extra one, I always find someone on trail who doesn't have one, who does not know about a compactor bag, okay? Simple compactor bag. It's thick, it's light, it works great. It's a great way to waterproof the inside of your pack, okay? Folks, you're going to get wet on the AT. It just rains. From everything I read, it said like 43% of your days are going to be raining. So I know when I started in 2020, I started in a downpour, and there's no way to not get wet and that sort of thing. So definitely recommend a compactor bag to line the inside of your pack with, okay? I do carry on the very inside of my pack in between the pads, so it's just not, it's out of the way, it's there if I need it. I do carry a small windscreen for my stove. I probably could take out one of these panels if I wanted to make it even lighter. But I carry this really light, something I caught off Amazon, and it comes with like all these different panels, and I just took off the mount for 3 panels. It's really light. I know it's something that I can make at home, but no offense, I don't trust myself to make anything that is dealing with fire, folks. No, not me. I'm not making anything. Cheap, didn't cost anything, hardly, weighs very little, and you can actually put it back together and use it on a common stove, okay? So one of the things that I do carry on my pack as well right here when I'm hiking is this. It is a Z-Packs little thingy. It carries my phone, keeps it dry. Haven't had any problems with my phone getting wet, so I do keep that right there because I want to take pictures, that sort of thing. So that's one of my babies I carry on my pack. I carry this trusty AARP. It's a little thing for hand sanitizer. You know, folks, I recommend when you're out at these little events, you know, little community stuff like that, you pick up these little tiny hand sanitizer containers, because this one is really like sturdy, but it's lightweight, and it has this little piece where you can put a carabiner, and it sits on my pack. Never lost it, never had any problems. I carry it right here, and that way, if I stop, if I do something and I need to clean my hands, I have hand sanitizer very quickly there waiting for me. One of the things that I do carry is my Sawyer Squeeze on a water bottle inside my pack. So I'll definitely be taking that. A lot of people use the Be Free. Everything I read says Sawyer lasts longer. I haven't had any problems with it. I love this baby. I do carry this little thing. I probably will not carry it on my through hike. I carry it just in case I need extra water, and I have used it a couple times, but it's not an everyday use sort of thing. So I do not know that I'll take it at least the early part of the AT, because water typically, I mean, you can get it. I mean, so far in the first 150 miles I've done, I haven't had a problem getting water. So this I will definitely probably leave it here. So definitely carry that. My TP, carry my TP on the outside pocket of my pack, so that way it's readily available for me. One of the other things that I do carry in my pockets on the side of my pack are my tent poles and stakes, okay? I do that so that way they're there, and then I can just stuff my tent inside my pack as I'm hiking. I never noticed these. If you want me to be honest, I actually went out to do some primitive camping and got out and realized I had grabbed my tent and stakes and forgot the poles in my pack. So, watch out for that. Let's see, what else I carry on my pack? I think the other things that I do carry on the outside of my pack, I do carry my my rain suit. For me, as far as rain pants go, I use the Mormont Precepts. I love the zipper that goes all the way down the side. They honestly, they feel heavier than the ones without the zipper. But what I've noticed, because I have them both, so I wanted to try them out. The one without the zipper, it gets really, you have to have a lot of patience when you're taking it off with your shoes. And I'll just be honest with you, I don't have that much patience. So since I don't have that much patience, gotta go with zippers. I do have an OR rain jacket. Don't have it right here right now because it's in the car. Like I said, I use my stuff. I love my OR rain jacket, and it's a really cool story with that. And if you keep watching, I promise you at some point I'll tell you. The one thing that I do have on the outside of my pack is this little, it's a little tiny rag that I got in one of my outdoor subscription boxes. And it's like this really tiny like cloth that, you know, dries really quickly. It's supposed to be odor, whatever, and it's really lightweight. And so I turned it into a pee rag. A lot of people use those Kahlua cloths and stuff like that. And the great thing about this, it doesn't weigh anything. I can completely rinse it out constantly. Every time I use the bathroom, it gets rinsed out. I love this little thing. Something I suggest, if you're a girl, hey, scoop you up a pee rag. It doesn't have to be the Kahlua. This little baby here didn't cost me anything. I mean, honestly, my subscription box for the month, which came with a whole bunch of other stuff, was cheaper than that little Kahlua pad. So I think that's how you say it. Not sure if I'm saying it wrong. Hey, sorry. If you guys want to send me one to try, I'll try it out. But so far, I'm loving this baby here. It just hangs on the back of my pack. And it's usually dry by the time next time I use it. Never had any problems. So, love this baby. And the other thing that I do carry on the outside of my pack is my Crocs. I am wearing them at the moment. But I do recommend Crocs just because the toes, folks. I mean, yeah, you can wear sandals, flip-flops for camp shoes. But I've had 2 surgeries on my feet. And I have 2 screws in each foot. So, the last thing I want is if you've ever hit a toe and you've had bunion surgery, the pain is excruciating, and it can bother you for a couple of days. So last thing I want is to slow down my hike with by hitting a root. And there are a lot of roots and just knobs, and just the AT is not a flat. It is not a flat little walking trail, folks. So it's just imagine, you know, go outside in the woods and take a walk. That's what it's like. So when I'm in camp, the last thing I want to do is hurt my toes. So I definitely have my Crocs on. All right, we'll move on to what I sleep in. I use a Z-Packs 20-degree quilt. I love this baby. I started out with a sleeping bag What I realized as a side sleeper and a severe tosser turner is that I actually ripped the part around the neck, and I had to take my Nemo sleeping bag back. So I went with a Quilt. I love it. I keep it hung up when I'm not using it. I do keep it in its dry bag when I'm hiking, so that not only does my sleeping bag it has double protection as far as water. It has its own dry sack, and then it will be stuffed inside of the compactor bag. So it has double protection as far as getting wet. Okay. I love this baby. It's really light. I will confess that I had no idea on how to use a quilt. I did not test it out at home. And when I went out for my section hike earlier in March, because I wanted to test it out, and I was cold until I figured out how to use it. And then once I figured out how to use it, it is extremely warm, and I absolutely love it. For my sleeping pad, I just have a women's Thermarest. I do use a women's because it doesn't have a higher R value, and I've tried a couple different sleeping bags. I have issues with sleeping. At this point, I think I am going to get an accordion pad to kind of go along with this, just to kind of see if it gives me a little bit more cushion, because I am a side sleeper and I wake up with numb, like my fingertips are numb and my shoulders hurt from sleeping on my side, okay? So I do have that issue, but at this point, I love this baby. It is a little loud, but it's really light, and it's not a bad sleeping bag. Man, if I can learn how to sleep on my back, it'd be great. I do have 2 pillows. They're ultralight Sea to Summit pillows. I love these babies. I need a pillow. I need one for in between my legs when I sleep at night. And so my goal is to get a good night's sleep, because I feel like if you don't get a good night's sleep, no matter where you are, whether you're on trail, whether you're at home, a good night's sleep is essential to have a great day the next day. So my goal is to do that. If it means I gotta carry 2 pillows, hey, carrying 2 pillows. I also will use my stuff sack with my clothes. I do use that as well, but a lot of times, especially in the winter, and I've learned that I really don't have a lot of clothes left over. So for me, that wasn't necessarily an option, because folks, I'm not carrying around a bunch of extra clothes. So I'm like, okay, what clothes do y'all have to stuff in y'all stuff sack? Anyway, but that's what I have as far as pillows go. And here's my tent. I do have a 2-person copper spur. And I also have the footprint that comes with the tent. It is a little heavier than just getting some of that, is it Tyvek or whatever that you can get to lay down underneath your tent. I use the footprint that goes with the tent, because I can actually set up the poles and the footprint, and then put my rain fly up, and then put my tent, clip the tent underneath the rain fly, so, and then take down the tent so my tent actually itself never gets wet. And then that way, the only thing I have to dry out, really, honestly, is just the rain fly. So that's the reason why I went with that. It does weigh a few more ounces, but if it saves me several ounces of water weight, that's perfectly fine with me. So I do have a footprint with that. As far as food goes, this is my pot. I do have just a simple I think it's like 750 milliliters Turks titanium pot. I did start the trail in 2020 with an aluminum pot, and when I went home at lockdown, what I did is I started doing some research, got a titanium pot, went from a different camp stove to a simple BSR or BRS. I do recommend this baby. It's cheap, it weighs barely nothing, and by the time I was done, I had dropped almost 1.5 pounds off my pack weight by simply getting a new pot and a new stove. Inside my pot, I will have a T-ball. This is for coffee, folks. This little baby right here is my luxury item. I don't care. I love coffee on the trail, and so I will carry it, and it fits perfect inside my pot, you know. Goes inside my pot, and inside here I will have my gas can. Have a nice little, I call it my kitchen rag. So I have that in there, and the main reason why you want to put a cloth inside your pot when you're putting in a gas can is because it will rust around the bottom. So that is the reason why you do that. So all of my stuff, including my stove, my little coffee pot, that's what I call it, my coffee ball, it goes right inside my pot, my little stove. And folks, I get the big lighters. A lot of people will get the little big minis. what I've learned, I have tiny hands. And so I don't know how you guys out there with big hands out there trying to light that little tiny mini lighter. It's hard for me. So what I did is I found the really skinny, they're skinny but they're tall, big lighters at Dollar Tree for $1. They're the same width as the mini, but they're the same length as the regular one. It makes it easier to light. And when it's cold, I promise you, and your hands are stiff, you're gonna wish you had that length so that you can light that lighter, okay? But it all fits inside my pot, and it all fits inside this trusty little container. Now, for me, a lot of people do carry a spork. I tried the spork, and folks, I don't like it. I don't like the way it stabs the back of my mouth. Maybe I'm just not using it right. I don't like the way it feels. So for me, I left the spork at home and I went to a long spoon. I love this little spoon. It's just basic Sea to Summit titanium spoon. And one thing I did, just because I realized that I do also would like to have a fork. So I scooped up this really light fork. It doesn't weigh anything, so I carry both of those in. Have a nice little piece right here to keep up with them, because I will honestly tell you guys, you will lose your spoon. I mean, a spoon, man, will get lost so easy. So that keeps up with everything. And another luxury item that I have that is probably something that, no, I don't need to carry, is a coffee cup. I do not want my coffee made in the pot that I cook in. That's just a personal preference. So my little coffee ball and my coffee cup are just my luxury items, and guess what? They weigh probably 2 ounces. Here's a little piece that goes on the coffee cup, because a titanium cup gets hot, and when you go to put your lips on it, you burn them. So I use this little trusty piece. It actually does fit inside my coffee ball, so I don't have to worry about losing it. I just have it out just to show you guys for my cup. So this is my luxury item. It actually does, I carry it inside my side pocket of my my pack, and I typically like stuff my Sawyer and toilet paper and stuff like that in there, so it just really doesn't take up any space, and for me, I like a good cup of coffee. So that's that. Next thing that a lot of people ask about is, I guess you call it your repair kit. It's what I would call it, my medical kit, repair kit, whatever. Some people call it a D bag, who knows. Inside of this, I just have some basic stuff, you know. I have K-tape. K-tape is amazing, folks. If you don't know anything about K-tape, it works great. I promise you, you can do amazing stuff with some K-tape. And so I have my it's a little tiny Swiss Army knife. I have this little piece here that everybody says that you should have if you're using a Sawyer Squeeze that you need. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know what it's for. I have absolutely no idea. But everybody says that if you don't have it and you need it, you'll wish that you did. So I do carry that. I just have some basic like ibuprofen, some stuff for like in case you got the poops. I always carry some Imodium AD, folks. You know, I haven't had to use it, thank God, but every time there's always somebody who needs it, and so I carry it. I do have a safety pin and a needle in here. I've used this along with my dental floss. And dental floss, you know, they say everything in this pack should be dual purpose. I use it as sewing thread, and I also use it to floss my teeth. And then basically in this bag I also have super glue, folks. I promise you, you can do some serious medical stuff with K-tape and super glue. I have a nephew that will swear by my medical abilities with this, okay? If you're out on trail and you get hurt, I promise you, you can patch yourself up enough to get to a doctor. You're never gonna be that far away from medical care. You know, the AT isn't that like out of the way that you're not going to be able to get to medical care quickly, okay? So honestly, folks, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't really needed, you know, some of the stuff that I even have in here. I do have some Benadryl, and I have some basic Band-Aids. I mean, like, that's it. I got this is some triple antibiotic ointment, some Band-Aids, a couple alcohol wipes, and ibuprofen. I mean, that's it. I got some kind of bite cream, some Band-Aids, got some little pack of moleskin. All this stuff that I have fits in this little tiny bag, okay? So what I have, and I don't even need most of these Band-Aids, honestly. I'll probably take half of them out. But I do carry them just because. And I have, you know, just the little things that I need in there. So that's what's in that little DD bag. I do have my paracord to hang my food bag. And as far as a food bag, I carry a simple 13-liter Cedar Summit bag. I did switch it out. I did have a yellow one, but they didn't have any yellow ones when I switched it out at REI. So we'll be going with the blue one this time, which is cool because blue is my favorite color. But it's funny, I got blue paracord too. So, but I do have that to hang. I do have a ball to wrap my cord around and tie it to, so that I can throw it up. I have a carabiner inside this little bag for it. This ball here not only doubles as my barricade throwing ball, but it also works for massaging the bottom of your feet. You can use it to do massaging and working on muscles and things like that around your body. And also, if you feel like playing, you get bored, stuck in a shelter, you got something to do, okay? So that's one of the things that I carry in this little bag here. A lot of people say you don't have stuff sacks. I'll have a stuff sack where I carry, hey, gotta carry my that paracord, carry my little ball. I do have some sunscreen. I do recommend this, at least at first. You may not need it all the time, but at first you are gonna need some sunscreen, something I definitely recommend. You know, and then you have your own personal medications that you need. Like for me, I have an inhaler, I have some eye drops, and I did notice that my lips got a little whatever, so I did bring some lip repair because, folks, I'm starting in February, so I have to worry about the cold. One thing I know that in the cold, my lips crack, so I do have some lip stuff. I do have some sports balm to help with the muscles, got some arnica oil in it, and this stuff is amazing, so I do carry that. One thing I recommend, folks, is earplugs. Bring your trusty earplugs, because I promise you, I don't sleep in a shelter, okay? Slept in a shelter my very first night. As the lights, everybody cut off their lights, and there was just a hint of sunlight left way off in the mountains. And I seen the little mice run across the board in the shelter. And I woke up the next morning, and there were little holes and stuff. Never again, don't do shelters. Even despite that, you could still hear people snoring in your tent, because, folks, there are going to be other people around you in tents. When you're starting early, if you're starting at the beginning of March, I promise you, you're going to get a Hog Mountain shelter, and it's going to look like Tent City, okay? You're going to wish you had these. Even if you're like, oh, I can sleep through snoring, guess what? There's always somebody getting up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. There's always that person who don't know what hiker midnight is. So, folks, I promise you, earplugs. You will not regret carrying earplugs. Something that I carried this last time because I was testing out cold weather, okay? And it's something I've carried every time, and I've yet to use it. But it is an emergency blanket, okay? The first time I left in 2020, I carried it because I was scared, and I realized that I had went in late March, and I didn't need it. Folks, if you're starting in late March or mid-March, you do not need an emergency blanket. If for some reason you did need it in the Smokies, scoop it before you get to the Smokies. Hey, go by Walmart, pick you up one. And then I carried hot hands. I did not need it for my March 1st start, okay? I stopped right before the Smokies. At no time did I need any hot hands, all right? I never experienced any type of weather where I felt like I needed these. But I am starting in February, and so because of that, I'm going to take them. I'm still torn about it because it's just hard for me to carry something I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need, but I'm still scared of that 1% chance. And they say you pack your fears, and freezing and like the 0-degree temperatures is my fear. So hot hands and an emergency blanket will be coming along. As I said, folks, do not, okay, and I carried this last time just because I couldn't find something small, but don't carry this big old thing of hand sanitizer. You don't need it. I promise you, you'll find hand sanitizer along the way. Hostels, you'll find them in the hiker boxes. Until I got to Franklin, and even in Franklin, I found these in hiker boxes, folks. You will be able to fill up your tiny bottles. I got this from Hallmark at Christmas when I was Christmas shopping last year, all right? It's small, it's perfect find little containers like this. You won't need any more hand sanitizer than this. I do carry two, because I do carry that one on my pack. But I carry that one on my pack, and I've noticed that if I'm out 5 days, that one on my pack, I will need a little refill. So I will carry this just to be on the safe side. But I'm also that person that I'm constantly cleaning my hands, man. So, but do not take something this big, all right? But do take hand sanitizer. As far as electronics go, for me, I have an electronic headlamp. I like this baby. I'm not gonna tell you that it's not the nicest one on the market. It does not have a red light feature. I, at some point, will probably upgrade, go to a different headlamp. But at this point, well, you know what, it may have a red light feature. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it does have red light features. Clearly, I don't use it that often, folks. I did use it this summer car camping. That's why I remembered it. I just typically don't use it a lot. Okay, I haven't done night hiking but once, and the one time I did, I messed around and I had batteries, and the batteries went dead while I was out there, and so I ended up using my phone. So I went with an electronic headlamp, and so this is what I have. Just something cheap off Amazon, but I like it and it works great. Probably go to something that's a little bit lighter, because I like the ones that are real tiny that just have that little bend, you know. So I may upgrade that. As far as my power bank, I do have a 10K Anchor. When I left in 2020, I took the 20K Anchor because I felt like I was honestly scared. I didn't take as many pictures as I did this year, and so what I realized is that I did go with the 10K this year, and when it's cold, folks, this baby goes dead. Okay, it said it has like 4 charges in it. It does not have 4 charges, folks, not in the winter time. So I will probably move up to the 20K because it's cold. 20K will be my cold weather gear, and I'll move down to this 10K for summer gear. Okay, but I do carry that. One thing, and you'll have your cords in your bag, folks. You see this little tiny cord? See how little short it is? You have now until you're through hike. Start searching for these little tiny cords. Like, you will find them. You'll have a friend that's got this little tiny cord and they don't want it. It came with something and it works great. It charges fast, but they don't want it because look how short it is. They're like, what you gonna do with that? For me, that's perfect. I don't want to carry around the weight of a long cord. So folks, I just put this up here to show you, hey, have and try to find some little small cords. This is one that I will use to charge my headlamp with. I will have one, and this one will also charge my earbuds. I didn't bring those out, but I mean, they're just simple earbuds. I don't use them every day, but I like having the option to use them, and I have used them to listen to a book and stuff at night. So I will bring earplugs as well, and this will charge my earplugs. And so I have one other cord to charge my phone and to charge my Anchor box. I do use the Anchor plug that has 2 plugs in it, so I don't have it here, but that'll go with me as well in my electronics bag. Here is a little tiny bag that I keep my ID in. It works perfect. Keep my wallet. I call it my little baby wallet. Keeps my ID, keeps my debit card, keeps me a little bit of cash. I do keep a piece of paper in there that says, hey, in case of emergency, call blah, 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 blah. It actually works. I actually lost my wallet and somebody actually called me because of that. So keep an emergency contact information in here, folks, because you never know what could happen. You never know if you're going to get hurt on trail. And God forbid something does happen. But, you know, we as hikers, we want to be able to call your family. We want to be able to call somebody and let somebody know, okay? And we want to also know who you are so that, you know, the authorities or the ambulance people or whoever, first responders can know. So I do recommend this. I got this from Z-Packs because it's light, and I wanted something that I knew would be waterproof to keep my cash and my debit card and that sort of thing protected. You can actually see, here's a little tag here. Just a simple little tag that's in the pack. If you don't want to carry a piece of paper that has your emergency number, I put my wife's number in here. So that way, if they try to call somebody, they're calling her. They're not going to try to call my cell So I do carry that. I will carry that inside this little waterproof bag. So folks, some people say don't bring stuff sacks. I'm disorganized as crap. Anybody who knows me knows that every night this stuff throws up in my tent. So for me, I need a place to keep everything. So I have this little stuff sack that keeps all my stuff, and then I have this tiny Cedar Summit bag just to keep my electronics in, and it'll keep my headlamp, keep my battery and stuff waterproof. I don't have to worry about it getting wet, and it works really great, and they're really light, by the way. And also in my electronics bag, I will have I call it my Memento Bag. It's just some mementos and things that my family and friends have given me to carry on my trip. I wear this necklace. It's my cousin's necklace. I will wear this the entire trip because he's the first person I ever told that I was going to hike the Appalachian Trail. And he told me to do it. And that was one of the last times I seen him. And he made this, and he passed away. And I carried him when I hike. So I will have this on the whole entire time I'm hiking. And my nephews gave me this the day I was leaving to go on my 2023 hike. And it's just an old cheap earring, but I wear it because my babies gave it to me. And then I have a few little mementos in here. A couple of rocks, I have a rock from my cousin, a little small one that he carried in his pocket. And so I carried that, and a couple of friends have given me a few things to carry just to remind me that I'm loved. So doesn't weigh very much, little small little thing. I may even give them something different to carry in, but I like my little Pandora bag. So I do carry these. I keep it in another stuff sack, keep it double protected, and it's just something that I carry with me. Call it a luxury item if you like. So I guess at this point, I got a cup, some personal mementos, and some coffee. So then I have my hiking poles, hiking sticks, whatever you want to call it. Do have a pair of leakies. I love these. I was that girl that just was like, okay, I can't believe that you're gonna pay $200 for some sticks. But they have been well worth it. I did not pay $200 for them. Folks, if you do your research, find things on sale. Go to REI, become an REI member. They give you guys discounts. They'll give me a discount. I'm a member. You use your discounts. And I caught these on sale, used my member discount, and so I got me a $200 pair of leakies for $80. I did lose a piece of one of the bottoms here. I actually lost a piece of this one on trail this year. And what I did is I caught them. And not only did they send me the piece that I lost, this piece right here, as you can see, it's new, still haven't even used it yet. And they also sent me a new middle piece for both of my poles because the locking system has been upgraded. And they said that it was probably a malfunction in the locking system. So they replaced the bottom pieces, middle piece of both poles and bottom piece. I do keep duct tape. So I have duct tape on one, and then I have Gorilla Tape on the other. I do keep me some of that on both poles. It has come in handy, folks. You need repair. If you get hurt, you're working with blisters. This stuff here has so many uses, it makes no sense. If you don't have any, I'll be honest with you, I didn't buy Gorilla Tape. You know what I did? Found a big old roll of it in a hiker box. I mean, I don't know who's walking on the trail with a roll of Gorilla Tape like this, but folks, it was in the hiker box. So guess what? Got me some free Gorilla Tape. I do have some hair ties on my hiking pole because as you guys can see all this hair, and it will be braided up and stuff on trail, so I always carry me some extra hair ties. And this little pack here this is just a little, looks like a little book bag or a little day pack for your doggy poop rolls. And I'm a smoker, and so what I do is I carry a pack of cigarettes here in this little pack, have me a little spare lighter, and I have a little flower in here that was from my grandmother's grave because I take her with me on trail, so I want her to walk with me every step of the way. So this little tiny flower from her funeral in there so that she's always with me. Have an extra lighter, of course, and again, got the trusty skinny bigs. And folks, if you're a smoker, don't throw your butts on the trail. I'm a smoker, and I can't stand that, all right? Stop. Don't litter the trail like that. I mean, yeah, leave no trace, all that crap like that. Regardless of leave no trace, folks, leave no butts. So, stop, smoke a cigarette. I have this little pocket here. I can put my butts in, and they stay in there. I can put them in there. So, I love this. Got it in one of my outdoor subscription boxes, and I have repurposed it, and it works great. I also, when I'm on the trail, I find like weird random stuff, you know. I found a bullet, stuff like that. So I put it in here, call it my little trinkets bag, trinkets from the trail. So that's the hiking sticks. All right, at this point, I think the one other thing that before I move to my clothes is hygiene. A lot of people are gonna ask, you know, how you wash and stuff like that. So for me, I do take a toothbrush, and I have don't take a full comb. You can see this, just a nice little comb here. It works great for the curls, and I have a simple toothbrush. Just a simple travel toothbrush. Some people do break off the end of a toothbrush. Me, I mean, it's kind of hard to, you know, I guess you do all that. I like this kind because it does give you a long handle, and then you can just close it back. It took me forever to find this kind as opposed to the flip kind, which feels really flimsy and would break on me. I found these at CVS. I don't know if that helps, because usually at Dollar Tree, Walmart, they have the little flip kind. So these I found at CVS. And then I do have this coconut oil up here because I use coconut oil. I'm not taking this jar, of course. I'll put some in a Ziploc bag. But I use just some basic organic coconut oil, and I'll use that on my hair. I'll use it on my teeth. You can use it to brush your teeth. Use it for your hair. I'll use it for if I get any sunburns. I use it on my skin. It works great for like chapped skin, that sort of thing like that. So I do take coconut oil when I'm on trail. I also use it for food, folks. I mean, it's a great source for fat when you're hiking, like the good fat that you need. And it works great when you're trying to cook up some Spam, frying it up and stuff. So it's really multi-purpose for me. Food, personal use. I use it for everything at home, so it's no biggie to take it on the trail. All right. So now, last but not least, I mean the clothes. When I started, I had a lot of clothes. I like dumped half of the clothes. So there's a lot of stuff that I will not have after the winter. One of the things that I moved up to, because I am starting in the winter, is I did get thermal underwear. When I left in March, one of the things that I was worried about is being cold. So I found a Patagonia thermal weight top in Needles Gap, Mountain Crossing, before I rolled out. And this baby works amazing. When I tell you, at no time did I ever feel like my chest was cold. And folks, if you want to stay warm, you got to keep your core warm, all right? So this baby worked amazing. So what I did, because I am starting in February, and I did test out a March 1st start, is that I'm starting a week earlier. I also got some thermal underwear. It's one of the reasons why I hadn't done this video yet, because I was waiting on these babies to come in. They've been out like forever, and so they finally got some in on the Patagonia website. And so I love these. I haven't tested these out yet, but if they work anything like this shirt, I'm gonna be sleeping cozy, folks. So people think about, okay, what do you wear in camp? This will be what I'll wear when I get to camp. I also carry a camp shirt. Cotton kills, folks, but I promise you, it is not gonna kill me in my sleep. If it does, I'll trade it out. But I'll carry just a simple cotton shirt. I've carried a different t-shirt from somewhere, has somebody's name on it, something. But I like just a simple soft cotton. I may even end up with just a simple white t-shirt. But I did just burn it out just for the sake of throwing it out. As far as camp clothes go, when you get to camp, you want to have something that's dry and warm. So I do have a waterproof stuff sack. It's just honestly, it's the pump sack for Thermarest. So I scooped it last year. It's really big. It's hard for me to not want to leave this year, but if I have to change my Thermarest, it'll come in handy. But I also want to make sure that I have something big enough to carry all these clothes and to keep them warm, okay? Because in the winter, you gotta take, you carry more stuff. So, and when I get to camp, I'll have a nice, cozy, warm, dry t-shirt and some camp clothes, okay? As far as a hat to keep warm, because I like I said, I'm worried about this winter stuff. I have this nice, it's called Cole, I think it is. It's one of their hats. But man, you talk about, this baby will keep you warm. And I was like, I'll never need it because it came in my my carrying box. And I thought, man, I'm never gonna need this thing because it never gets cold enough. And 2 years later, here I am starting Appalachian Trail in February, and I will be taking this baby with me to keep me warm at nighttime. I'll also be carrying my little beanie here, and I'm not sure what you call this thing, that buckle something, that goes around your neck. The wifey knitted this for me. I absolutely love it, and it keeps me warm, and it keeps me, when I'm hiking, it's not too heavy, and it doesn't get me too hot either. So I definitely love that. What I hike in is just a simple hiking shirt. I only take one shirt, folks. I found this shirt at Mountain Crossing about 2 years ago. Absolutely love it. I wear it every day. And when I get into camp at night, I rinse it off, wash it out, go stream, wash my clothes. And I wash it out. And folks, even in 15-degree weather at night, this baby was dry the next day, okay? I have yet to rinse it out, wring it out, and hang it up, and it's not dry the next morning. It is amazing. I love it. It's just an OR hiking shirt. Couldn't even tell you what kind of OR shirt it is, but I found it. I actually went back to get another one, and they only had long sleeve. They didn't have the one in my size, so I'm just gonna get a different one just because I love it so much. So I will wear this every day. As far as shorts go, folks, I just wear some sheer shorts. I brought these up just to show you. I actually have a pair of them on. I don't know if you can see it, but they're just a plain old Sophie cheer shorts, and they have the, I call them underwear. They have that little thing in them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm assuming so girls don't show their hoo-haws, but it has this in it, and I like this. Okay, what I noticed is that I can bring 2 pair of shorts like this. What I will do is I wear one during the day, and when I get to camp at night, I switch out the shorts, which means I have fresh panties on and fresh shorts, and I switch those out. The ones I had on for the day, I rinse them out when I rinse my shirt out, and I hang them up. Now, folks, honestly, they're dry the next morning, but the band will still be a little moist, but I'm not wearing those the next day. I have on that fresh pair, and by 24 hours later, they're always dry. So what I do is I switch my shorts every night, kind of like switching my panties. So I'll bring 2 pairs of shorts, switch those out every night after I wash them, and I don't have any problems with that, okay? So I will not be packing any panties, because guess what? My Sophie shorts have them. I will bring 2 bras. I look at these babies. I can't imagine not going anywhere without an extra bra. So I do have one. I do take the underwire out because they said I would start counting grams, and they didn't lie. But I don't count them too bad, so I'm proud of myself for that. I do have one of these. It's just an OR. It's really light. I'm not even sure what you call this thing, but it does everything. It puts your hair up, you put it over your head, it keeps you warm, it keeps the sun out. You can even put it around your ankle for compression if you like, or twisted your ankle really bad. I love this baby. Doesn't weigh anything. It's perfect. Just love it. Just a simple OR. I forget what you call those things. As far as staying warm as well, when I'm hiking, I have a long sleeve hiking shirt. Just a craft. I did some research, and it said the Swiss ski team wears these. hey man, if I figured if they can stay warm in it, I should be able to stay warm in it. So that's why I scooped that up. Doesn't weigh much. So far, folks, I love it. I haven't had any issues with odor. It is amazing with odor. It doesn't keep it. It doesn't stay wet, even if you sweat in it. I love this shirt. I would honestly wear this shirt as just a regular shirt. But folks, I'm in Florida and it's hot. I'll never get away. I do have a fleece because like I said, I'm starting in February. A lot of this winter stuff, folks, I will be sending it home at a certain point. But for now, I do have a fleece jacket. It's just a simple warm-up. It's short and it looks tiny. You know why? Because it's a child's. All right. I did not feel the need to have all this extra stuff. Hey, I just needed it to keep my core warm. So I went to the kids section, looked up ultralight fleece. It happened to be on sale. So I got this little kids warm-up fleece for like 20 bucks. Love it. It works great. And for a puffy, got my Ghost Whisper. I love this puffy. I did have an OR, like a hybrid, whatever. It just didn't keep me warm like I wanted it, so I did take it back to REI, and I scooped this Ghost Whisper. I love this. It's really light. You think that, oh my God, you're not going to stay warm in it, and then you put it on, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, it feels really good. But you never get too hot in it, so that's what I love about this jacket, and it's so light, and it folds up into nothing, you know. But I will be carrying this inside my clothes bag to keep it dry because, folks, typically you don't hike in here. You're not hiking in this. This is when you get to camp, okay? And then I'll have my gloves. I have gloves I wear every day when I'm hiking. I don't just hike with just my hands. I fall. I have vertigo, so I'm a faller. I won't fall. So I need to make sure that I don't mess up my hands. Don't like my hands being dirty anyway. So I hike with gloves on. These are just some OR sensor gloves. These work great until it's about 25 degrees, and then you want something a little warmer. So I did go and scoop up some rain mittens. Forgive me for the stuff still being in the bag, but I got a little worried about being cold and stuff like that. And so wifey got me this for Christmas. That's why it's still in the bag. But I did scoop some rain mittens from REI. Everybody says you need something to keep your hands dry, and if it gets really cold, then I'll be able to keep them warmer in these. They are light, man. I tell you what, they're light even with the little tag thing on them. I got a tag still on them because, hey, this is my Christmas present, folks. Don't tell my wife that I seen them, all right? It's supposed to be a surprise. And then I got this hat because I don't even know if this is going to work. I may send it home. But Sky said you're going to want something if it's snowing and it's sleet. And you're going to want something to keep that cold rain off your face and to keep your head warm. And so, I got this nice little OR hat. I got it big, so that way if I have to put this on over that toboggan or off the beanie, and hey man, I like this, look like, I don't know what I look like, but yeah. So I got this hat, and so might use it, might not, but it's really warm and it doesn't weigh anything, folks. And what I'm thinking is that I should be able to slide it down in the back of my pack so that it's out of the way, doesn't mess with the shape of it, and then it's readily available in case it starts snowing. Because until I get past the Smokies, and honestly, because I am leaving in February, probably, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sending any winter stuff home till after I get past Grayson Highlands. So I got to get past the Roan Highlands before I send anything home. So I do have these. And the one last thing that I do have as far as winter gear that I did scoop is I got a pair of sealskin socks. Got mixed reviews on this. Some people say it's a waste of time, but if it's snowing or if it's sleeting, and the last thing I want is to have cold feet and wet cold feet, just the idea of that. And then I've also been told, hey, having to put your feet in cold, wet shoes in the morning, if it's just raining, and it's cold, that these are a lifesaver. And I've also been told they dub as really great warm mittens if your hands are cold. So I'll be scooping and taking these seal socks along with me as well. As far as regular socks for wintertime, I got these really thick Injinjis. I do wear these liners. They work amazing, folks. I have yet to get a blister. And like I said, I had surgery on both my feet. So I have to be careful with that. I do have some lighter ones as it warms up. And then I just have simple Darn Tough socks. I have a lot of these socks, so I just didn't go grab, different pair. But that's what I have. I have some Darn Toughs. I have some Smart Wool. So I'll just grab some socks. These are a little thinner, so I will go with the thicker ones that I have. These are some I just scooped up last year on the way to do a section hike. And they're really thin. I thought I'd try the thinner ones in the wintertime. Definitely going to go with the thicker ones because that morning, leaving, I think it was Deep Creek or somewhere, it was cold. It was cold, folks, and so I don't want to have cold toes like I did. I will have some thick wool camp socks. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do as far as camp socks. But I will have some warm socks. I probably won't take these. These are thick, they're wool, but folks, I've frozen them this past spring, and so I won't be taking them, but I did bring them down here to show you that I will have camp socks. And I do have these for my ankles. I have weak ankles. It is something that I'm working with a physical therapist on to try to increase the ankle. I'll find out next week if I have arthritis in one of them. So I do carry these. I'll probably have a different one. This one, they're not really, they don't have a lot of support, just some real cheap things. But I'll probably have a heavier one for one of my ankles. So I do have these. And then I have, I carry bandanas because my trusty Mickey is my washcloth, wash my body with it. Folks, I wash off every day. I'm going to wet this bandana and wipe my body off, wipe the sweat off my body because I want to feel clean when I get in my sleeping bag. I might still smell funky, but at least I want to feel clean. So I always will have a bandana just to wash my body with. And then I usually do carry 2 of these on the outside of my pack because I'm sweating. So I usually have one for sweat to wipe my face off. So I have one side for sweat. And then, folks, I have the other side because my nose runs. And it runs, man, the whole state of Georgia. I'm allergic to something in the Georgia woods. My nose just, sinuses just, woo. I'm like, okay, I know these people think I got COVID. But, so I have one of these. I call it my snot rag, So, and I make sure that I don't, I can't be wiping my face with the snot rag. So, one side I'll have a snot bandana, and the other side I'll have a sweat bandana because I want my face to be clean at all times. So, I will be rocking 2 bandanas. Hey, if you want to pick at me for having extra weight, then just pick at me. But all of this stuff will fit in my 55-liter pack, and I think that's everything that I will be taking that I've showed you, except for my mask. I will have a mask just because there's a lot of places that ask you to have it when you go into town. I did see an ATC guy walk in, and he had on a mask this past year. That was the only person I see with a mask on trail. But this is for when you're going into town. Folks, take a mask and respect the locals. I mean, some places may not care, but some places will care. And, we're going into these people's towns. And so I'm bringing this mask for the locals. And so it's not about protecting me, it's about protecting the communities that I'll be visiting. So I definitely will have my mask. The last thing that I take is my little trusty pack here. My little books is what I call them. I will be carrying my AWOL. My AWOL's gone. You can't get it for your phone. But folks, I'm a paper girl, man. I love paper. So I'll be having my AWOL's guide. I will not be carrying the entire thing. I will do as I've done in 2020. And I will split it up and only take a piece of the book, okay? So I don't plan on taking this entire book. I did take it this year on my section hike, just honestly because I was just taking extra weight. I wanted to throw a pound or 2 of extra weight in there just to see how I did, because I knew that I would be having probably more winter stuff. So But I do have my trusty AWOL's book to plan every day. This past year, or this past spring, my therapist asked me to bring a little book to write in. I ain't writing it, folks. You know, I've taken a diary every single time I went out there, and I've written one page. So I will not be taking this out there. If I have something to write, I will write it down in my AWOL guide. One of the things I will be taking is my AT passport. I like this. I like the idea of getting little stamps. I do the national park stamps too. So for me, I'll be taking this just for me, folks, not for anybody else. And then I do carry my space pen with my little trusty tablet. I love this thing, man. It has, it's like waterproof. The pen is waterproof. It writes in water. You could write on this piece of paper and do everything. You could try to destroy it and the message doesn't come off. I played with it and tried it. So I will be taking one of those. I did take 2 of them last time. Like I said, just add an extra weight. Got one for Christmas. And so I had it in the bag and I just took it along. I do carry it all in this little plastic. It's like a plastic container. You can purchase these for like 25 cents on if you purchase your book on AWOL's actual website, he has these for 25 cents that you can purchase along with your book. And I recommend going to AWOL's website to purchase your AWOL guide, because if you go on Amazon, folks, man, Jeff got enough money, okay? Folks, Jeff has enough money. We don't need to give him any more, okay? So I go to AWOL's website and purchase the book. So folks, that's everything that I'm going to be carrying. God, I feel like this was a long video. Anyway, but this is all my stuff, all my gear. I don't know anything that I'll be gearing down that I haven't mentioned. And so I'm sure that when I put it all in, I'm pretty sure it's going to weigh 25 pounds. And guess what? I'm okay with that because I won't be cold. All right, folks. It's Muse here. I'll be leaving out in February. Just wanted you guys to know. And no, I know you're like, oh man, you need to lose some weight. Hey. Well, guess what? I haven't been cleared to start exercising yet. So hopefully I'll get that clearance on Tuesday so I can start walking and getting ready, because my thing is, if I'm going to carry 25 pounds, then that means I need to lose 25 pounds. So that way I'm carrying what I am right now. All right, folks, that's it. If you like all my random talking and rambling, like and subscribe and follow along, and happy trails.